Hi, I'm Jim Dixon, singer-songwriter from Lubbock, Texas, originally from New Mexico. I started playing music at 14. My dad had had a stroke and later at 16 committed suicide, which was of course kind of sad, but I had friends. The only thing I knew how to do as a teenager was plunk around a bit on the guitar, and other than washing dishes at a restaurant there in my hometown, I picked up a gig on Sundays playing bass with these older fellows playing country swing, and I worked hard at it, and they were patient learners and patient teachers, and I kind of stumbled through that. And then when I got up in level 16, 17, I actually had a few gigs about town, and kind of decided to be a musician and devote my life to it. I guess I'd kind of explored songwriting and poetry and things like that. I think I kind of knew I wanted to be a songwriter, although I didn't know what path that would take. Playing Western swing bass with a bunch of older gentlemen was, I guess, where it started. Oh, personal influence in my life. Wow, that's got to go to my mom. Probably one of those kindest, gentlest people I've ever known. I guess every mother's son would say that, I suppose, but she was definitely an exceptional person to give me the courage to move forward with things. When I was 16, 17, working in bars, and I told her, I said, well, I think this is what I want to do. I mean, up till then, I wanted to be an admiral in the Navy, so this was a life-changing course, at a teenage years, and she took me out to all the clubs and late night, really bad places. And I'd watch these guys so drunk they couldn't play. And she, one thing to this day I remember, she points behind the bar at the bottles on the shelves and she says, that's a wolf and you're a rabbit and you're going to be in here every night. And I'd look at those guys so drunk they couldn't play, and that separated it for me. And then she would take me to real venues to where art was appreciated, and masters had devoted their lives to doing it right. And I think that her caring enough, and not just once, well, we're going to go over here and check out this, and show you this. And she didn't want to, she probably would rather have stayed home, but that's quality of her qualities. Well, I thought I'd start with a song off my second album, Welcome to Babylon, the title track to it. Met a girl once, wrote a song about it. It didn't end well, and I think the song tells the story about it, but I thought I would start with that one and then move on from there. I need something to get me through the night. A little something to get my head right. She said, you're in luck, I got what you need. She said, walk this way, come with me. Welcome to Babylon. In Babylon, where the night goes on and on. Welcome to Babylon. Everything you want is here in Babylon. Now I need something, lately I can't sleep. Maybe someone can cure my disease. She said, come around here, I got what you need. I said, is this heaven? She said, no, there's a price you'll see. Welcome to Babylon. In Babylon, where the night goes on and on. Welcome to Babylon. Everything you want is here in Babylon. Oh, welcome to Babylon. Oh, no. I'm Babylon, where the night goes on and on. Welcome to Babylon, everything you want is here in Babylon. Oh, welcome to Babylon, oh no. Oh, welcome to Babylon. Now I need something to get me through the night. I think I get asked that question a lot. I think artists do, because they really want to know where it comes from. And, you know, you have to just say all of them. But I guess the one that really gave me the courage to move forward at a time when I needed it the most would be Sean Mullins, acoustic guitar songwriter with a hit song at a time when, you know, that wasn't cool. And he just kind of came out of nowhere and clobbered me with great songwriting. He definitely fell into the hero class, somebody I could aspire to be and aspire to be like. And gave, at a time when I was writing a bunch of acoustic songs and, you know, nobody wanted to hear them. And here was a guy, and they wanted to hear his, and I think that gave me the courage to keep going and keep writing. And so he is real important. But of course, if I look back at what makes me want to be a better writer, it's Gershwin and things throughout history, you know, James Taylor, and all of them fall into that category of what moves a man to write a good song, I suppose. Well, I think there's a place I refer to it as Crazy Land, where solitude reaches a kind of a peak for me. I'm a very solitude person anyway, to where it kind of reaches, but I have to go out and gather, I suppose, first, and kind of bring that in and let it ferment, I suppose. And then there's a point where it kind of comes together for me. I write a lot. I generally try to write, you know, all the time. So generally accomplish that about one a month or two a month, maybe. Write some. Sometimes I'll skip a few months, but I think there's always one brewing. There's always some project brewing. And I notice if I get too far off track, it'll just insist to come back to that, to where I have to kind of just sit in solitude and work on that kind of thing. So 30 years of writing songs, I think it's the real ticket there. What do you write about that you haven't written about? Well, you got to do it either more clever than you did it the last time. If you're going to tell the same story twice, it better be a lot more clever than the last time you did it. You know, you hunt down the thing that clicks, that resonates in you, and, you know, it'll resonate its way to the top, and it kind of forms itself. I think being a good observer, living a life worth writing about, these are important qualities for being a songwriter, but important qualities for being a human being. So, well, I thought while I was here, I've been writing one this week. It'd be nice to kind of see how it's matured so far. So I think I'll play that one. It's called "Float Along with the Sea." It's kind of a song about mortality, I suppose, and our place in the universe, that kind of thing. What is being free? The difference between being lost and being free, if there is a difference at all. Time is a vessel, we paddle and we row. Its destination, anchor to a stone, and past the lighthouse, on the path you go alone. See to the meadow, rest your bones, and a wayward sailor set upon the sea. Was he ever lost? Had he been set free? And on a beach, placing stones upon the sand, come save our souls, we've shipwrecked again, and float along with the sea. Let the tide come, take away me. Float along, it's just a dream. Far away in the dark, a storm can be seen. It's not a lack of fear you lost, it's just the distance between. So I set my sails to the tempo of the wind and paddle real hard to somewhere I've never been. Float along with the sea. Let the tide come and take away me. Float along, it's just a dream. Float along, it's just a dream. Float along, it's just a dream. When I was young, the reason I became a musician, I was kind of unsure about what I wanted to do with my life, except for the fact playing bass guitar and country bars paid well. And there was a gig every night, and if you were willing to travel, sleep in a motel, you'd stay at the same venue for a week or two at a time, and there was a paycheck at the end of it. Band leaders, this is a fun one. Band leaders were kind of not the boss. The club owner was the boss. He could fire anybody on the bandstand he wanted to. Band leader's job was to work with what the bar owner gave him. So we worked that scene for a lot of years, and there was money in it. But that fell away more with venues becoming, disco came and DJs came, and venues didn't want to pay 5 people. Venues got smaller, they fell out. Little town I was from, under 30,000 people, had 14 nightclubs in it when I was a kid, and every one of them had live music. So plenty of work, and now that same town has 1. So and it's gotten twice as big. That's a sad tale, isn't it? But that's the way that went. But things changed in some ways for the better. The music, there's a lot less money in it, so it's become a lot purer, I suppose. The people out there doing it now know they're not kidding themselves. They know it's either do it for the art or you're not going to get a lot out of it. So it's kind of gave it a cleansing in a way. We're all kind of cavemen with the same size club now, so that helps. Everybody used to be you couldn't get in the room. Now it's a room full of people. So to me, in a way, I think the real hard work is sitting in your studio, getting up every day and studying your craft and writing songs and being involved during the day. The gig is an hour and a half long. It's kind of like the guy who rides the rodeo around the arena with the flag one time. That's kind of the gig. Yeah, I like it. It's the testing ground to me for what I'm writing to see if it's. I enjoy it. But I think I enjoy it more to see if my works are working properly. That's kind of a conclusion to my thing. And being entertaining is a craft, and you have to study it as well. So, as well as your music. So you kind of do both. I think some do it a lot better than I do. I do a lot. I like writing. I like seeing if my works are working on people. I prefer a more intimate venue than I do, large gatherings. I'd much rather have people who are listening so I can see if my works are working. So I wrote Tonto kind of about my brother. Growing up in New Mexico, having an older brother and his older friends, and I always ran with them, and and they'd beat me up and take my cool Lone Ranger mask and my cool phony horse, and they'd say, well, if you're going to hang out with us, you can't be the Lone Ranger, you have to be Tonto. So I went inside and I got my eagle feather and I come back out, and there they were in the backyard, 7 Lone Rangers. So I wrote a song about it. And Tonto, it's been with me for a long time. It's kind of one of those songs it's on my first album, and it is a song I like to kick the night with a lot of times, or just share that story with folks. So. You reminisce, reciting fables. I run out of rhymes and I would spill poetry on the table, and you would say, kill all the lawyers, stop the great debate. I get tired of listening. People say they hate me. If we could be cowboys, I would be a Tonto, just in case your hero doesn't show. There's an old man on the front porch, Lord only knows what he knows. He's been sitting around here bitching, tired of getting old, but he lights up on those days when his kid comes around. He reach behind her ear, pull out a coin and say, there's one 'cause you need the money, here's 2 to go to the show, 3 'cause you're ready, 4 just in case your hero doesn't show. Man, and I'd say, oh, sail away, sail away. You believe in this? Magic's not all that. Only hero here is a rabbit in a hat. So let's turn up the TV, stay up too late, throwing popcorn at the villains. That's who we hate. And if we could be cowboys, I would be a Tonto, just in case your hero doesn't show. Well, I start out like everybody else. I mean, I write some stuff and I listen to the radio and I go, well, that's nothing I did. Why? How come that's good? And you think, why is that song on the radio? It's not even any, I could do that. So I think you kind of start, sometimes you emulate things, you start down that path. In the end, you find the one, you hopefully find your path, what you do, and I guess in the meantime, on your road there, you're going to poke around at a lot of different styles. And I'm fortunate to be a musician probably first who has played in funk bands and country bands. And I have a rock bands. I have a basket to gather from, to explore a song when I go to write, to not just do it as a stylist, but to write accordingly to the song the story I want to tell. So, I think, I've gotten to see this industry from a lot of different angles, from working with T-Bone Barnett and Ryan Bingham back in his teenage years before Crazy Horse came out, and now being in Lubbock 20 years later, working the scene with my own records out and promoting them, and seeing the industry from every which way I think you could look at it. I think I've been a good student, and I can honestly say the only thing that's worth doing is the pursuit of your craft, just the study of it, the showing it respect and being good at it. And where that takes me, I don't know really, but it's the only gratifying part of it. It's eventually what you find out when one hand cranks the wheel on the bubble machine and one hand points at the bubbles. There becomes a definition between those two things, which is which one do you value more? So for me, I love working in Lubbock, studying work. I don't know where that takes me. I may choose other teachers and other places to learn, but for right now, I feel in the zone with my producer Brian McRae. He's a true master, world-class master, probably the best in Lubbock musician. And I get to work with some pretty heavy hitters there, and they've kind of all taken me under their wing. So I like that. And much as I can learn, that's where I'll stay. So. You can find me online, jimdixonmusic.com is my website. Social media, I generally only Facebook on my private page. I have a fan page that you can go to, Jim Dixon Singer-Songwriter on Facebook. I mostly just post up generic things there. You're welcome to join me on my personal page. I think we have some space left on there on Facebook, where it's mostly just where I'm playing and rambling thoughts throughout the day. Instagram and Twitter, you can find me at those places too, but honestly I don't use them much. By Broken Poets Publishing at gmail.com is my Gmail. And you can find me out there on the highway, iTunes, Spotify. We have several records for sale that have sold well. We have songs playing on the radio in that whole West Texas region there and in New Mexico too. So you can call a local radio station and say, play Jim Dixon, Broken Marquee off my first record, or several off Welcome to Babylon, or now my new record Earthbound. So.